Hey guys, I got a serious problem right now. My van does not want to move. It does not want to go forward, does not want to go back. I could definitely tell that transmission is in limp mode because all I see is basically drive on the dash, and that's it. Like basically the transmission already went inside of limp mode. So I'm considering myself lucky. I was just at Ford. I actually made it to my destination. I made it to my delivery. I drove all the way inside of the Ford and made it all the way to the back. Like I have to deliver to like Orange Dock. And the only thing is I could tell like it did not want to go. So I just tried to rev it, and then it basically kind of like continued on going. And then that's it. Like once I stopped, and I could actually stop anymore. I stopped because it just doesn't want to go forward, and I parked the vehicle. I realized I did not want to go back. It did not want to go forward. I didn't want to do nothing else. Yeah, kind of scary because that place, there's really all these no parking signs and stuff, and I had like 7 skids in the back, but the skids were light. It was only like 700 pounds. They were smaller type of skids. It still take up the whole area like in the back and stuff, and I told these guys that my van is possibly disabled right now. I could definitely tell it has to do with like clutches, and I guess what's going on is like if I said if I shut the engine off and allow it gonna sit here, possibly it's gonna start moving again, which it did. Lucky me that, because they said, oh, well, you're gonna need to get the van out of the way because it's gonna shut our supply down, because they got trucks rolling in and I'm actually blocking the way of the trucks. So man, I was like lucky because I was able to basically start the van up, and I made it all the way out of the facility, and basically here I am. Like in front of me, basically this is like the Ford factory, but I'm already on the outside. This is where the road is and everything. So one thing I do know, it will drive if I let it cool down. So this is like one of those situations where it brings my memory back. This is why me sharing my experiences with you guys is definitely going to be like really helpful, because you will actually run into this type of situation. At least you're gonna sort of like know like what to do and how to handle the situation, at least you know, for like immediate type of a fix. And what I mean by that, like you'll know like if it's not moving, it does not necessarily mean you can't really move. So that what that means is you need to shut your van down and you know, just kind of like, you know, let it sit there and cool down, and then it's gonna start moving again. So one other thing I want to point out before I tell you guys a story when this happened like last time, and then what I'm actually getting ready to do, I want to cover that next. Basically here's one thing that I noticed, guys. Like I try to rev like my engine and stuff, and like when it's in this condition, it triggers some kind of like, I guess, ultra limp mode, I would call it, even though like it does not indicate anywhere like with like a check engine light. Basically it does not rev any more than 1,500 RPMs. So the computer is actually limiting you know, the vehicle, you know, to try to go faster, I guess. So that's one of the things. So another thing I do want to mention, yes, looks like the transmission is in limp mode, and shortly I'm going to start driving to try to confirm this, how far could I actually speed up the vehicle, and we'll be able to see what's actually going on. So if the transmission is in limp mode, I guess I have a choice. What I could do is I could basically, I have a spare transmission control module with me, hopefully. I didn't misplace it or nothing. I didn't, you know, like remove it out of this vehicle. I don't see why I would. It should be like underneath my passenger seat. So I have an extra transmission control module, so that means I could just plug and play it and at least have the vehicle shift. So for this to happen, you know, I have to like drive home 500 miles, and that means I only have like half a tank right now. So I need to get a full tank of diesel, and that's it. Like I'll need to basically plan on a trip where I don't do any stopping. I just have to basically continuously go. So I know over here, kind of like down the street, there's a gas station. So I'm gonna pull over there and I'm gonna get some fuel. I think it's a Speedy, I can't remember, but I'm gonna fuel up, and basically I guess I'll figure out by the time I get to the gas station if my vehicle's shifting or not, and I'll probably just drive it in this mode. So one of the things that I will do, I'll keep the video running while I'm actually trying to drive, and you'll probably hear the whining that it's creating once things start heating up again, I guess, with the fluids. Yeah, and another thing I want to mention, of course I replaced the transmission last year, so I guess it wasn't really like 2 years ago. This was sort of like the start of my channel, guys. Well, actually, yeah, it was 2 years ago. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's almost 2 years ago, technically. Like this February, once we go into February, that will be 2 years. So here's my story, guys. When I was driving like 2 years ago, like one of the states, I was like in Kansas City, Missouri. This started actually happening. My company, they actually sent me out to pick up a load, and I was still driving towards the load. It was snowing. It actually was cold temperatures like right now. So in a way, that's like a big coincidence. I don't think the cold's really affecting it. But the funny thing about it is, and I guess it's not funny, that a lot of vehicles, they tend to break down when it's the wintertime. And another thing is where if you do a lot of stop and go, you know, like you're trying to, like, I guess, save in tolls or whatever, and you try to go through these street lights, you know, or go like shorter, like it'll break your vehicle down like so much quicker, guys. So I try to usually like just go like the quickest way possible, and usually just use all the highways, and that's the way I basically handle it. But anyways, guys, as I was going to that load, I would pull up to like a light, and then I noticed I try to like go, and it would like feels like it's like slipping, and I just keep like revving it like a little bit, and then it would sort of like it would sort of go. So did that for a couple lights, and then that's when I realized I'm not gonna really make it to my destination to try to pick up a load. So I end up having to cancel, and so I kind of thought, that's it, I'm not gonna be able to go anywhere. So like luckily somehow like the vehicle still started moving and stuff, and then I basically went and parked at a gas station and turned the vehicle off, and I was sitting there for a lot of hours, well, a couple hours, you know. So then I said, you know, it's nighttime, kind of like it is now. The weird thing about it, everything breaks at nighttime, when it's cold, when it's like not convenient for you like at all. So then I started basically driving, and it actually started working again. So I got on the highway, guys, and I knew that if I'm going to slow down, like, you know, if I'm in a high gear, I should be like pretty good. But if I will slow down like at all, that's it. Like my vehicle is just not gonna make it. So I kind of knew that. So that being said, I started driving. Of course, it was really snowy conditions, a lot of bad roads and stuff. So there was like accidents and stuff, and like people would sometimes cause traffics. So the idea for that was, I kind of knew if I let it cool down a little bit, then possibly it's going to keep going again. So you know, I would basically just get off the exit like as soon as I've seen it, and I had to do that twice, guys. So basically I'm like, okay, I see cars are stopping, go ahead and take an exit. I would go to some kind of shopping center, anything, you know, with a parking lot. I would just park there and just wait a couple hours. Sometimes I think one of those times I actually just chose to just sleep because it was like dark anyways. So I slept because I knew like there's no point going back on the road because this is traffic, and maybe by the morning like it's going to, like, you know, go away. And guys, I made it home like that. You know, so that was me being extremely lucky. So now I would like to talk about the limp mode some before we're gonna start driving. To be honest, I really don't know what kind of limp mode it is in, because I'm a little bit more familiar with limp modes. Yes, it's behaving like it's in a limp mode, but I did not get a check engine light telling me that it is in limp mode. Now, last time my transmission went into limp mode, this was like, man, 2013 territory. This was before I had a YouTube channel, before I had a house. I was completely broke. That situation, you know, I was like not even familiar with, like with the transmission, and I tried to look for the information on YouTube and anywhere, like nobody had this type of information. Like my YouTube channel would have been gold for me at that time, because you know, I was just completely broke, guys, and I could not afford somebody to work on my you know, Sprinter. So the only choice I had was to learn the transmission, you know, because I didn't have any money to try to pay somebody to try to do that. So when I got a limp mode, like I was driving through traffic in Memphis. I was just right outside of Memphis, kind of like where West Memphis is, and there was big traffic down there. And yeah, again, see, like it happened like when it's like traffic. So as soon as I slowed down and you know, my vehicle went into limp mode, because once the traffic kind of like, you know, went away, I realized, hey, this is really not accelerating that good. Like the RPMs are screaming at 3,500. I actually was doing it just now too, when I was driving. So I have a check engine light code reader, so I could see, you know, what's going on. But anyways, guys, that was kind of scary, because I was like 40 miles away from like the nearest truck stop, because I already passed the traffic. Because I was rolling, I couldn't tell that you know, that I was in limp mode. So basically I did the best I could to try to get back to the gas station, and basically like I had AAA as well, and that this story will kind of get a little bit interesting. I had AAA, and I still do. I don't think it really went away yet. I think I still have like AAA. However, I got one of their letters, so let me see it like when it expires. Let's see if I have the card in here. I know it might sound like it's a little bit irrelevant or something if I have AAA or not, but I'm kind of curious myself as to, yeah, it looks like it was valid. Well, for some reason this is my old card. No, it's not. It's not. It just says I've been a member since 2012. Yeah, so I guess that happened in, well, it still happened in 2013. You know, I didn't get AAA at that time. So yeah, it looks like November 30. So my AAA is definitely expired, and if something happens, I'm basically screwed, I guess, to get like towed and stuff. But AAA is only good for like about between 100 and 200 miles. Yeah, so you know, go figure. But anyways, guys, why did I bring up AAA? I actually I realized I couldn't really go like the actual 40 miles all the way to the truck stop, because it basically, like, you know, it was like unsafe. I was only doing about 35 miles an hour. I would have to go like on the side lane and stuff. And so I pulled over and I called AAA, and they said they would not actually tow my vehicle. But turns out they actually have to. According to the sticker that we have, we just making it, I think, like, I don't remember the exact numbers, but we're under 200 pounds gross vehicle weight. According to the sticker, that's what they go by. I think we're making it just by like 200, you know, within 200 pounds. So like with some of the newer sprinters, most likely you're not gonna qualify. So they said to me that they would not like send out like a, you know, I would have to pay for it basically, you know. But at that time I had Legal Shield. Maybe you guys heard of it. It's called like sort of like prepaid legal. And I called them up and I got them on the phone together with AAA and stuff. And of course, any kind of service like this too, they don't really want to work, I guess. So they're like, well, what do you want us to do? You know, it's probably in their documents, just send it in, review. But you know, I'm on the road, I need help right now. So I said, why don't you just be on the phone with me? Let me do the talking, you know. And when I said that, you know, like I introduced myself when I called again to the AAA, and I said I had my lawyer on the phone with me, and they introduced themselves. Oh, they immediately like jumped on the ball. They like handled it. They said, oh, no problem. We're gonna send you like AAA, just hold on. Are you in a safe location? Are you okay? Are you good? And by that time I already made it off an exit because I didn't think they were gonna come for me, and I just parked at a gas station, and that's where I was. But anyways, that's that story right there. And then obviously when the AAA came, and they took me to the basically Flying J. I just asked them, just take me to Flying J in West Memphis. So I stayed down there, guys, all night, man. I'm telling you, like, I was so broke. I only had just enough time, like enough money for food and fuel, and I had like rent to pay and stuff. And you know, like, it was one of those situations where you just want to cry because you have like no other option. It's just you're stuck, you know, that's it. And it's like really like nobody wants to help you. It seems like nobody has money, nobody's gonna like let you borrow any money and that kind of stuff. You know, points like that really made me think in my life, I never want to depend on anybody for anything, but I will try to help people out if I can, you know, like I am doing with my videos and stuff. This is sort of like something I wanted to do. I didn't think it was going to be this effective, but I guess it is. But basically, guys, continue the story, and you guys already heard this before, probably in some of my other videos if you've been watching them for a while. I stayed up all night, guys, just reading everything I could find about the transmission, all the forums. I read all the United States forums, and including all the ones that you have in Australia. So all the information was so basically, it was just a lot of information, like, and you had to really make sense of it. So I took away a couple things for me. So one of the things that would cause the limp mode, of course that's at that time, I know a lot more now. So one of the things that causes limp mode is the actual transmission control module. I found out where it is because I didn't know where it is. And in case you're wondering, guys, it's right under the driver's seat. That's where it's located. It's a black plastic piece. It's mounted on top. That's the transmission control module. And the reason that they sometimes go out, it's due to the fact that oil actually gets on the prongs. And the way the oil actually gets there, when a 13-pin connector starts leaking, there's a lot of pressure, and it pushes all the fluids up the wires. I know it's crazy, guys, and it makes it all the way to the computer, the transmission control module, TCM, and it basically shortens it out or causes some kind of limp mode. So, you know, that's that. So another thing, of course, I've learned is that you could clean the speed sensor. I didn't see nothing about it being part of you know, a conductor plate, so I wasn't really sure where that stuff is at, because, you know, I knew that it was a speed sensor and I didn't know what it looked like. When I looked up speed sensors, I got like basically kind of like a thing that looks like an ABS sensor, so possibly that's a speed sensor in something, but definitely not in my vehicle. So yeah, like I knew like a little bit, and I knew that it possibly could be reset. You know, you could reset the code. And now at that time, guys, I had the same computer, you know, with me, and I basically scanned the codes, and I did have 2 transmission codes, guys. You know, I can't remember what they said exactly, but I know what they look like if I'm going to see them again. So I knew they were there. I just could not clear them. I tried to clear myself. That computer would not actually clear them. So I know for a fact that my computer will not clear them. But if I would have a transmission control module with me, most likely I knew that I could plug and play it. And yes, it's going to start malfunctioning again pretty soon, but at least you could drive and maybe make it, you know, further, you know, like home or something. So, which brings me to my next point. So I found the transmission shop, which was called Coleman's Transmission in Memphis, and I called them up. They said, yeah, bring it in for free diagnostics. I brought it in there for free diagnostics, guys, and they looked at it and they said, not good news. $3,700. They basically tried to lie to me and tell me conductor plate and speed sensors, 2 different things. They said speed sensors like I don't know, like they said like $400, and the conductor plate like $900. I can't remember the exact numbers now, guys, because it's been so long, but it was gonna be like $1,000 just for that, like supposedly those 2 parts, when in reality the conductor plate is basically 43, 147, $150, kind of like that range. And you could just buy a new one and replace it, or you could clean up the speed sensor right on it and then probably use it again. I don't usually recommend just cleaning it unless you're like, you don't have any extra money. Just clean it then. You'll just have to I guess hope that it's not gonna go out on you. But this brings me to my next point, guys. I just did a transmission fluid change. I made a whole video like last time that I did a water pump change, but guys, I also did a transmission fluid change at that time. I have the videos. I didn't have time to edit those because those were done with my supposedly professional video camera. I shoot 1080p videos with everything, but that's a Sony camcorder. I could zoom in, I could do all kinds of stuff with it, but I use a professional editing software to edit that footage. It takes a while, so I didn't have time to really go through it. But I just changed transmission fluid, and I noticed that it was kind of dark, and I knew I kind of like did not change it in time, but I didn't do a lot of driving either because I was mostly doing like some home repairs, and I stayed home and I made a bunch of videos and stuff like that. I took it easy because I got a house, and you know, like it needs a lot of work, so I'm working on it, and instead of, you know, being out there, you know, just driving and stuff. But today what I was really planning on doing is making a video about like giving some ideas and stuff how you could start a business for $10,000 or $20,000. It was one of the questions that I had, so I was gonna make a video on that. So now I'm in this type of situation, so that video is going to have to wait, even though, guys, it's kind of late. It's probably like 1 o'clock right now, but anyways, let's start this thing up and see what's going to happen. I'm just going to tell you exactly kind of like what's going on. So starting it up, going. So obviously it's not shifting, but I am able to drive. Keep in mind, so it's actually shifting, and the transmission control module is not in limp mode, so that's a good sign, guys. It's definitely a good sign. So what I'm going to try to do, guys, right now is go fuel up, go to the bathroom, and then I'll be driving this thing all night, guys, till I make it home. So obviously when you're driving at high speed, well, highway speeds, like, you know, whatever the posted speed limit is, it's not going to really mess up on you. It's going to try in the mountains and stuff, but you have a higher chance of making somewhere, you know, driving already in high gear. So possibly one of the lower gears is slipping. Like, it's definitely clutches that's actually slipping right now, and I could definitely tell with the fluid being kind of dirty. So what's going on here? So I'm basically going through the light, and I got a light up ahead. That's where the gas station is that I need to go to. So I was planning on catching a nap after this load, guys, and just looking for another day tomorrow of working. So now the street lights are going to be my enemy, because the longer I sit and wait at the light, the more chances I have of the transmission heating up and causing it not to shift, and then ultimately I could be stuck here at the light, which right now it's not going to be so bad because there's really no cars over here. It's really empty, even though normally this is a pretty busy street, but still it's going to cause an inconvenience for me. So it's red right now, and I'm thinking, come on, just go ahead and switch. So hopefully, guys, it's going to be good news, and good news is me making it home, because I don't have anything to work on this transmission. What it really needs is clutches. So what I'll be doing is, okay, now it's whining, which sucks. So what I'm gonna try to do is, and the check engine light just came on. Can you hear the whining, guys? Of course I'm slowing down, but I'm going to shut the van off over here at the pump, and I'm gonna inspect the check engine light. One of the things, guys, I don't recommend you ever do is do not make extra stops when you're doing loads. Just go ahead and get to your destination. If I would have made an extra stop, guys, and stopped somewhere for food, I would have not made it to my destination. And that was a straight through load. So this means I would be unreliable. And it definitely plays a huge factor in getting future jobs and stuff. So I don't want my company thinking I'm unreliable. But then again, it's always good to have a backup. I have a backup van, so possibly this transmission is gonna have to wait. I'm just gonna register that one, and then that's the van I'll be driving. It works really good. It's mechanically sound. With the mileage, it's got a little bit more mileage on there, on the engine, but that's original engine, and it works beautiful. Like, it just sounds like it's working good. So let me basically get out here, fuel up, and I'll get back to you guys. My transmission is officially in limp mode. Yeah, sucks saying it, guys. I've just set the light, and that really triggered it. So possibly it's not going to clear. This is what it looks like, guys. Let me see if I could zoom in. Right here. So basically P0715 input / turbine speed sensor circuit A. Let me see if it's going to erase it. It says no codes are found. So basically, I really don't know. I really hope this thing could clear. I didn't do any updates to the software, but it definitely is cleared. But one thing I'll tell you guys, last time I cleared them, it wasn't good enough. Basically, if I did even clear them, it was still hidden over there, and it did not remove the transmission from limp mode. However, this is possibly two different situations, because last time the speed sensor was so gunked up with metal. This time it might be possibly that it will clear, because it is a different situation. It's detecting something, but maybe it's allowing me to clear. I don't know. One way to tell is me getting out there and start driving. So now I'm just gonna go to the bathroom and get ready to start rolling. Guys, I'm ready to go. So let's see if it's really out of limp mode.
Turn right, Kentucky 1447, Westport Road. Then keep left. Keep left on Kentucky 1447, Westport Road.
Okay, it seems like it's shifting. Can't really tell.
Turn left onto the I-265 south and enter the freeway.
So I'm at 40 miles an hour, so okay, that's good. We're doing pretty good. I would be really shocked that this could actually clear codes. So just gotta get to the exit. The main thing.
I-265 south and enter the freeway.
So we're at the exit. We're still rolling. Okay, I'm not wasting any time gunning it. Now wish me luck, guys. This will be a late night. If I could make it home, man, I could count my blessings, which I have quite a few of them to be thankful for. Just 2 years ago, I didn't have anything. and now I have a YouTube channel. I have something to show for, and I'm able to give a little bit of advice to some people that are in the same type of business that I'm in. Guys, we are doing officially 65 on 65 over here. So cruise control is set. Got an exit 6 miles up ahead. I can put a smile on my face now. I think I'll be able to make it. I know, you know, guys, before ending this video, you know, a lot of you guys, you've been with me like for 2 years, watching my videos. You know, a lot of you became already my friends, and some of you got my phone number. And I do give my phone number to some of my close YouTube viewers that actually watch me all the time and comment, because I get to know you guys and I consider you guys my friends, you know. And a lot of you guys did point this out. You know, some of you guys would be already cussing out something, and I try to hold my cool. And you know, it's just, I guess I have something to be thankful for, guys. You know, there is always a way out, you know, and if you know the way out, then you feel a little bit more confident that you could get it there. And the truth of the matter is, not a lot of people have the way out, kind of like, or know a way, you know, like out of a situation. You always have to have a backup plan, and one of the backup plans, as silly as it sounds, I have a spare van at home. And you guys see me try to sell it summertime, put it up for sale, and I had people try to lowball me like crazy on that van, you know. But I know what that van is worth to me. And to me, that van is worth between $8,000 to $10,000 a month in income. And to try to sell it for less than 8 grand, it just doesn't make any sense. When I put my heart and soul into that van, I did so much repairs to it. I took care of it. I basically babied it, you know. And that don't come cheap. By me investing my time, guys, I killed more than a month of work in that van. And that means not only that it's worth that much when you're actually working, because I put in my time to try to, you know, get it to its condition, optimal condition that it is, painted and got rid of all the, you know, dents, dings and dents. Actually invested some money, put some nice lights in the back, nice grill in the front. I really made that van get a second life, I guess. It makes me feel good that I didn't sell it. That's what the story is about. Because as silly as it sounds, having an extra van like just there, you know, like sitting around not doing anything, you could be like a driver on it making money. But yes, guys, by having a van just sort of sit there, I am guaranteed to continue my job. And if I didn't have that, driving home would have been looking a lot different. I would make it home, and that means if this was a season, I would need to look for a transmission, which I do have. Next transmission I'm putting in it, it's going to be going to have a lot less mileage. That transmission is going to have 200,000 miles, 290,000 miles on it. Of course, I'm going to remove the torque converter, use that as well. And I'm also going to replace my rear differential and my drive shaft. Do I really need a drive shaft? No. But I'm going to go ahead and replace all this. Why a rear differential? Guys, I had pretty good luck with my rear differential. This rear differential officially has now 1,174,000. I really don't know, you know, how long it's going to last, and why did it last me so long. All I could say is, you know, I could count my blessings on that one, because I replaced the drive shaft already several times. So we got an exit up ahead. I do a lot of talking, obviously, and I really hope that I'm not gonna lose my speed and I can just continue unrolling. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna pick up this video at home once I make it, or not make it. That's when I'm gonna pick it up. So I really hope that I do. So hopefully I'll see you guys home. Hey guys, I'm 88 miles away from my house. Unfortunately, my transmission went into complete limp mode. I do have transmission control module that I could install, and hopefully that does the trick. Hopefully it's not some other thing that programs your actual computer to keep it from, you know, driving and stuff. I have basically deleted the codes I'm able to delete, but basically it's just staying in D. It's not accelerating anymore. I know I look like crap. I haven't slept all day. Yesterday I was driving with the load delivery, and I drove over 400 miles just empty. The biggest thing that really caused it to malfunction is, of course, some street lights over here on 74. I almost made it all the way through, and then it just started being ridiculous, just basically slipping like crazy. So I had to keep like pulling over to the sometimes to the curb, and there's really not much of a curb, and until basically now it's in complete limp mode. I think there's a certain amount of times that if the transmission control module goes into limp mode, it will then officially stay there. Because it will realize that the problem is existing, and it will just remain. So my hope is to install a transmission control module. By the way, my Sprinter is back there. You can't really see it. It's pretty much silver. And once I install it, I hope I could drive far enough to where maybe the engine will have time, well, not the engine, but the transmission have time to cool off a little bit. And then I could continue. I really hope I could get home, because I didn't know this, but the November the 30th is when my AAA has expired. So it is not one of those things that you need to upkeep. I'm normally not renewing right away, but since I had it, I really didn't even use it like all this year, and now that I really need it, it is not there. And I think normally is, if you're trying to just get the membership reactivated, it will take about, I don't know, like 5 days for, you know, you to be able to use the towing services. So it's okay. I'm only 88 miles away, so it's less of a problem than it was before. Guys, this is a transmission control module. I have a spare, which is right here. I'm going to go ahead and remove it and attach that one. Transmission control module is in. I guess this will be the test whether you could carry a spare and just replace it and that'll be it, or it somehow sets a code inside of a computer, and then that will prevent you from shifting. So I hope it will shift. Guys, it's time for a test. So here we go. It's a moment of truth.
Continue 7 miles.
Okay, it is shifting, guys. So at least I know the control module, if you have a spare, that will work. Question is, will I be able to make it home 87 miles? I don't know. And of course I got my handy dandy computer. In case it comes up again, I could probably delete it a few times before it locks the code in there. But at least we know the computer is not being affected. I got 6 more miles. This will take me to I-85. I really do hope that I could just go ahead and go home, because from 85 I could go to 485 to 77, and then basically I could get off my exit in South Carolina, and most of that is like 55-mile driving. So I think, well, I don't know what I think. I wish you guys could tell me what this is. Is this my clutch is going bad, or is this a torque converter? That's what I'm kind of wondering. When the vehicle obviously gets hot, warm and stuff, when it drives, obviously the transmission is a little bit warm, so it starts malfunctioning. When it sits a little bit, it starts basically kind of like recuperates somewhat. Not 100%, but enough to try to get up and go on the highway. but I've been noticing before the transmission control module went out completely. Even though I had a straightaway and I kind of sat around and I waited, it stopped allowing me to really go. But I'm also thinking it's because I didn't sit long enough, because I was impatient. I just pulled over. The location of pulling over was not that good, because it was a very heavy traffic area, and there's no median curve to try to pull into. So I was anxious to try to just get started and moving again. But when I pull over, it wouldn't even move anymore. Like, it basically, like, I'm rolling and I'm hitting the gas, and all I'm getting is basically spinning. So what I'm noticing, I guess, if I'm driving at low speeds, this problem will trigger faster. If I'm at high speeds, it lasts a while. As you guys can see, I have driven 420 miles with the same problem when it started first happening in Louisville, Kentucky. Now I'm in North Carolina, and I lasted this long. So I'm wondering, do you think maybe the clutch, perhaps, I mean the clutches in the torque converter, they're the ones that's bad, not the actual transmission clutches? Or it's definitely the transmission clutches, you know? So what do you think? I do think this transmission by now, it started like I'm trying to think of the miles. I really don't know. Let's see. I could do a really good educated guess. Well, yeah, yeah. Okay, so the transmission had 450,000 miles. Right now, I added another 174,000 to it. Good thing I replaced it at a million. It is, you know, pretty easy to count. So we're looking at what, like 630,000 or something. I'm not sure if I'm thinking correctly because I'm extremely tired. I have no choice but to drive. As soon as I, you know, get home, as soon as I could plan on what I'll be doing. I know what I'm going to do. I'll replace the transmission from another Sprinter that I have. I'm going to choose the one with the least mileage. Probably should have done it to begin with. I'm going to pop another transmission in here and a torque converter, and that's it. But this transmission is good. Like, when it works, like, it shifts like perfectly. Like, it's really good. Same thing was like that with my other one. So the problem's either in the clutches or a torque converter. I don't know. Educated guess, just replace both of them. So some torque converters you can find for like $100, 150 aftermarket. I'm not sure how good they are. Possibly for expediters driving long distances, it will be pretty good, you know. So maybe getting a torque converter, which is not that expensive, I guess. At the dealer it's 900, so yeah, that's quite pricey. And just do a transmission rebuild, almost kind of like making new, and then sell the rebuilt transmissions to try to basically get into my new business of opening up shops and stuff, and basically trading quality parts, I guess, that you would know that would work. But yeah, guys, so far so good. I'm driving. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the camera off and record. Next time I'm going to have a serious problem, or basically I'll be home. So hopefully, I cannot even think. Hopefully I'll be home, basically. So that's what I'm hoping for. Okay, see you then, guys. I guess I'm pretty lucky. I have made it home. I could not be happier. Yeah, my wife, of course, is happy to see me. My little Jason's happy to see me. So guys, I have definitely decided to stay home till the end of winter. So probably gonna get back to work sometime in March. But as of now, I'm going to try to figure out like a new business. So it's kind of like an interesting thing. You guys ask me for a topic for a business. What kind of business can you do with $10,000? Well, I'm gonna start a business with, I guess, much less. So I have a lot of ideas. So I'll be sharing them as I'll be doing some stuff. So anyways, guys, see you in my next video. Thanks for watching this very long video. I hope it wasn't disappointing, and good luck to you guys. Stay safe on the road. Please stay safe out there, guys. Luckily I could take this opportunity to be home. I know many of you guys can't, but I'll be having you back, guys. So if you have any issues, let me know. I'm gonna try to help you out, guys. Bye.